Alright guys, so as the title says, I failed my CDL test today. Don't really want to make this video because I'm pissed off, but I'm making this video because maybe it'll help someone out there, and maybe my mistake, you can learn from my mistakes. Okay, so first off, everything went good. I go to a school where a lot of people go through there. It's not a mega carrier. It's a smaller school. It's a company. They've got about roughly 300 trucks, 300 drivers. Now, there are right now students. There's probably 30 students right now. Right after the pandemic and shutdown, there's still 30 students in there right now. I was the first one out of that whole group of people, because there was a big gap from the amount of people that started, because they closed for a little bit. So when they opened back up, I was one of the first students. So I was the first student to pass, and I'd never been able to talk to anybody else who had taken the test from that school, right? Because there was that big gap from the shutdown. So I was the first one out of all this big group of people who is taking their CDL test, right? So I was confident, right? I matter of fact, so you do your pre-trip and you do your in-cab and your brake test and all that, and then you do your road skills. I got a 100 on everything but my road skills test. Okay, I can drive that damn truck. I can park it. I parallel parked perfectly. I didn't get out and look at anything because I've done it 2,000 times, and I was just so confident in my ability to park that truck. I did it perfectly. Okay, so I can't really give you all any pointers on how I messed up or anything like that on that. Now, here's the thing that happened to me. So my instructor has been taking me on a route because he knows the route, right? They're all showed the route that you're going to take. So I have been doing that route over and over and over. Now, I do go outside of that route just to get some extra drive time, but that is the route that I do perfect. I've been doing perfect the whole time I've been in school. So what happens today? Today, at 7:30 in the morning, I get there, and they've got construction going on everywhere where I'm at, and they closed a bunch of roads, and there's detours everywhere. Not only is there detours, but there's traffic because of the detours. And I'm like, oh no, what are they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of my route. So I knew, okay, fine, we're going into uncharted territory. That route takes 15 minutes, guys. I can drive that route in 15 minutes. And just to put it to you simply, my road test was 1 hour long. Okay, it was 1 hour long. It felt like an eternity. It felt so long. And literally the instructor starts talking to me right as I'm starting to do my road test, and I should have told him, sorry man, but I don't want to be distracted by talking. I just want the directions, and that's it. So if your examiner starts to talk, tell them to, politely be quiet, because they're not going to cut you any slack whatsoever. These guys, the guy literally said to me, he told me he'd been driving for 21 years, and he was super bored in the office yesterday because nobody was testing. And I was like, dang man, that's a long time. He goes, yeah, but I said, that's why I can't do the office thing. And he goes, yeah, well, if you've been driving as long as I have, you'll want an office job. He goes, now I just get paid to be a dick. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. That's just great. So I shouldn't have been talking to him at all. I should have been taking directions and telling him to shut his ass up, for real, because that's very distracting. And you got to remember, guys, we're not experienced drivers. I stepped foot in a semi-truck for the first time. I've never driven a manual 1 month ago, okay? And I've learned a lot in that month, but I'm not an experienced driver, okay? So I don't need that extra distractions while I'm taking this test. You just don't need it. So make sure that you tell them politely, look, man, I'll talk to you after the test. I just want to focus, and I want to take your directions. You know, we can talk about anything else. Because see, I know he was at least trying to, you know, calm me down a little bit, because I'm not the best test taker. You know what I'm saying? There's nerves that are in there, because I know that I'm under, you know, there's no room for error. You know what I mean? There's so many ways to fail in this test. So anyway, make sure you say that. But he was trying to like make me feel less anxious, which that wasn't going to help anyway. Okay. All that did was distract me. And I was sitting there trying to talk to him too. You know, in my head, for some reason, I'm thinking, oh, I need to be nice. I need to play along with this guy. No, because he doesn't give a shit. Okay. Like you just told me, he said that he gets paid to be a dick. So that should tell you something right there. So go ahead and be a dick back and say, shut the fuck up. You know, that's how I feel about it. But anyway, so I do this long road test. I am going in narrow construction, 20 miles an hour. There's bulldozers in the road. There was people broke down. I had to get around. I mean, it was an absolute mess, right? But I handled that, all right? And so now I went through all that. I did it great, perfect. He kept saying, dude, you're doing great. You're doing cool. And then we get to a school zone, okay? And I want to put in some footage because I went back, but right now I just don't have time to do a lot of editing, so I'm just gonna give it to you, tell you guys what happened. So I hit a school zone, 25 miles an hour. Cool, I'm coasting. I'm doing like 22, and we passed the school. I get about 200 yards past the school, and I'm looking for, where does the school zone end? When are we gonna pick up speed? And I seen a 35 miles per hour sign on the side of the road, okay? But I still didn't know if we were out of the school zone. I was waiting to see a out of the school zone sign, okay? End of school zone sign. So I get up a little bit further, about another 100 yards. So I'm 300 yards away from the school, done past it. And here's a damn, you know, one of those speedometer things, like the police put out. It's on dollies. It tells you what you're speeding, and if you are speeding, that thing lights up blue and red. Well, underneath of it, it gives you the sign of, you know, your speed limit sign, okay? And underneath that said 35 miles per hour. Keep in mind, people are just flying past me, okay? And so I thought to myself, well, hell, that wouldn't be there if, you know what I'm saying? Like, why is that thing there? So I kicked it up. I went up to 30 miles per hour, guys. He turned to me and he said, the test is over. And I said, well, I knew immediately. I was like, dude. So we kept driving the whole time. I'm like, it's registered. I heard him, but I'm like fighting it in my mind. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And I never saw an end of school sign. There was never one. Matter of fact, after that one, about 100 yards ahead of that, 50 yards ahead of that, it kicked up to 40 miles per hour. And that was that. And so he said that I failed. And I said, well, not only that, but dude, schools are closed, okay? No school in America is open right now. You know, there might be something going on, but those schools aren't open, for one thing. For a second thing, why is that thing there? Why is that there if it's a school zone? Why do we need that there? And why does it say 35 miles per hour, right? So I get back and they tell me, he tells me I can appeal it with the state. And I'm like, dude, is it right or is it wrong? Okay, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna sit there and say, oh, you can appeal it, then obviously you feel like it could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pissed. I mean, I am pissed about that, because guys, you know, I haven't been getting paid for this training. I've been trying extremely hard. I've been showing up every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm not working right now. I was working, but I left my job because I was timing it out, okay? I'm actually 4 days behind of when I should have taken my test, because I put my 2 weeks in when they told me when I should be taking my test. So I left that job. So right now, technically, I don't have any income coming in. Luckily, I still have money, and you know, but that's not the point. The point is that, hey, I have financially planned out that I should be I should have taken the test. So not only did I fail, but I got to pay $100 and I got to wait 48 hours. that's if the schedule's open. Keep in mind, I've got 25 to 30 other people behind me ready to take their test. So when am I going to be able to schedule for the next one? Because I'll promise you guys, I don't need more practice, okay? That was and that's what I'm getting at, guys. Can you pass this test? Definitely, obviously. There's plenty of people out there who have. Was the test as easy as I thought it would be? No, okay? My trainers were not strict enough on me, okay? There is not a lot of room for error. There's a lot of stuff that you can fail for automatically, which I knew that going into it, but I hadn't practiced that, okay? I hadn't practiced being under such, I hadn't practiced being in test mode enough, right? I'm just learning, hey, you need to make sure you're doing this, you need to make sure you're doing that. No, I would rather my trainer be like, you failed, man, start over, okay? Okay, we failed, it needs to be that tough, because that's what you're going to be dealing with when you're taking a test. So when you guys are doing this, you need to make sure that you are doing everything perfect, okay? As far as the skills, the parking and stuff, I mean, you just need to have it down packed, which, like I said, I got 100. I nailed it. But I also feel like in this test, you need luck on your side, guys. You need luck on your side. And someone out there might not say that, but when you're an inexperienced driver, you've been in the truck for 4 months, you need luck on your side, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff that can happen that can throw off your game. And you're not an experienced driver, so you're not going to be able to just adjust like that. Someone out here might try to argue with me about that, but I'm telling you guys right now, as an inexperienced driver, you're taking this test for your first time, you need a little bit of luck on your side, and I hope you guys get that luck. I think I got the luck on the pre-trip, the in-cab, and all that in the skills, because like I said, I got 100, and my parking, you know what I'm saying? I haven't been 100% perfect on my parking in every single time I've been practicing, of course not. But, the littlest thing, you could be off just by a little bit and it would throw you off, right? And you need to be perfectly centered when you're doing these skills. And I just got kind of lucky. I mean, I knew what I was doing, but I got lucky in the fact that everything lined up perfect, okay? Because you can know what you're doing, and sometimes it just doesn't line up good. So I got lucky on that. But with the road test, I got thrown a curveball, okay? And curveballs do happen, all right? I know people... Another thing that I was really worried about, guys, is that running a red light, okay, in a truck where I'm at, I mean, it's bad. We go 45 miles per hour all the way down this road, and there is a red light every 200 yards, guys, and it's annoying when you're learning how to stick shift and you're going down the road, and what'll happen is you're right at that no man's land of like, hey, this motherfucker is going to change. Or it's not going to change. I need to hurry up and speed up. And so what happens is you get caught up in that, like you're not experienced enough to know exactly when and how you can stop right away and not go over the line, not obstruct traffic, and make sure that you didn't run it. Okay, the way they do it here is if it turns red at all in your windshield, even at the very top, you failed, okay? If you go to do an emergency stop and you go over the, you got to get it in gear too, okay? You can't just, you can, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, so much stuff can go wrong in this test. Now, yes, I'm upset. Honestly, the way I felt about it was I wanted to quit, honestly. But I know I'm not going to quit, and I knew I wasn't ever going to quit. I'm going to keep doing this until I get it. But just so y'all know, it's normal to feel like you just want to quit and walk away, honestly, because when you're putting in that much time and effort and trying, and then you fail over some stupid little shit and you did everything right, because in my state, this is different than a lot of states. I have to go back and do the whole damn thing over again, everything. Where I know in Kentucky, you just have to redo the part that you messed up on, right? That would be love. And I would go straight over to Kentucky and do it there if I could, but they're not open, you know what I mean, during this whole shutdown thing. So anyway, I'm going to be taking my test again. It'll probably be on Monday. I will let you guys know how it goes. Also, I'm going to do a video right after this. I want you guys to look it up if you're just getting into trucking and you want to know how to pass your CDL permit test. I failed. Matter of fact, I failed my DOT physical too. So apparently that's just how I roll. I fail and then I get it, right? So hopefully next time I'm gonna go better, but I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how to pass the CDL permit test. And I know everyone out there's like, you need to go this app, this. You don't need to do any of that, okay? And you ain't got to read that big old book, but you got to get in the book, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how to pass your CDL permit test. So stay tuned for that, guys. This is a brand new channel. I'm gonna keep giving this stuff to you raw, unedited, at least for now. And we're gonna get into other topics. It's gonna be fun, man. I'm gonna try to make I'm gonna try to make this channel really good. So I want you all to join me. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys.